Congressional Representative Khanna. Over a dozen primary sponsored bills played key roles in major national legislation in numerous areas, and I think, as we all know, most recently, the Epstein files. For 13 community projects in his district, including funds for homeless veterans, shelters, and water infrastructure.
Thank you for being out here today. You know, I was in Washington. You see that? It was almost midnight. Almost midnight last night, because the Republicans of the Senate, the whole Senate, passes funding for TSA and for our airport. And the Republicans in Congress say no to that. They say no to that. They say they're only going to fund it if we give more money to ICE. Now, let me tell you something. Funding for ICE. Tear down that agency that is harassing American citizens. You know, I was in a hearing, and there was a 16-year-old American, born here, Latino. He said the police had him the ICE agents had him in a chokehold. Another mother, American citizen from Latino background. She said the ICE agent said that they were going to blow her head off, and that they were better custodians of her kids than she was. What is going on in this country is heartbreaking. It is outrageous. I was at the California City Detention Center, and you know, John knows it, John Smith and Anu and others. I saw someone who had blood in his urine and had no medical treatment. Rocks in the food. People who wanted to self-deport and couldn't self-deport. History is not going to be kind when they write about this chapter in American history. We need to stand up, all of us, and demand that this Democratic Party, that our party, take a clear moral stand.
That's right!
We need to be clear on the war. No funding for the war in Iran. Think about what we could do with that money. You could have free public college for every kid in America. You could have 1,000 new trade schools like the ROP here. You could have 1,000 new ones across America. You could fully fund special needs education. You could pay teachers $60,000 per minimum across the country. And we're putting that money into bombing people in Iran? No! All of our service members injured last night because of the attack on Saudi Arabia, and then over 1,000 Iranians killed, young girls who we struck in the Iranian schools. And what have we achieved?
Higher prices! Chaos!
Gas. Look at gas, $6.50, $6.70. The gas up 34%. Khamenei is out, and his son, who's in charge, Khamenei Jr., actually is more of a hardliner. He actually wants to develop the weapons. We need to have clarity. It's not just that they need to come to Congress. It's that this war is wrong. This country is tired of these wars of choice in the Middle East. We need to be focused. Thomas Massey and I led the War Powers Resolution to stop this war. We got 200 Democrats. We lost 4. We got a lot of Republicans. We've got only 2 Republicans. We are building the coalition to get that bill passed, to actually try to end the war. I know the Democratic Party can have a pretty simple message. We're anti-war, we're anti-Epstein class, we're pro-working class. Epstein class, this group of people that really committed the most heinous thing. Thomas Massey and I got into Congress and we started talking about this. They said, don't talk about this, it's a distraction. These women, these girls were raped and abused for decades, and no one cared. And the most powerful and rich people watched it happen, participated in it happening, or covered it up. Look, we can't have two tiers of justice in this country. No! Of a group of rich and powerful people thinking the rules don't apply to them and that they can write the rules for their own benefit. They're treating these girls as dispensable. And the reality is, for too long, powerful people have been treating all of us as dispensable. Sending kids to war. Causing the Great Recession. Shafting working class families. It is time to hold the Epstein class accountable. It is time to have a and yes, tax the billionaires. Let me end with this. I'm so proud of all of you for coming out here. You could have done a lot of things. You didn't have to be out here. But we're citizens. We're patriots. We are going to turn this country around.
That's right.
My grandfather, Amarnath Vidyalakar, stood up to a king as part of Gandhi's movement. I never thought that his grandson would be standing up in the United States Congress to make sure we don't have a king here. This country is capable of extraordinary self-correction. I believe in this country. I was born in 1976, our bicentenary in Pennsylvania. Fremont never held it against me. And the country gave me so many chances. I couldn't play Little League. They still let me play Little League. I had health care. I had to take out too many loans for higher education. And this incredible district has elected me for 10 years to be your congressperson. I believe deep down there's a goodness in America. There's a decency in America. After the Civil War, we had 12 years of Reconstruction for the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. After Hoover crashed the economy, we had FDR and the New Deal.
That's right.
After George W. Bush took us into Iraq, we had Barack Obama.